Today we are talking about the high body lock with examples, maybe some insights, and why I think that the high body lock could be the next big thing in passing. So, as you know, I work with a lot of high level athletes, and I also have athletes that are with me from the beginning. And I also do a lot of seminars. So, the feedback, especially on the high body lock, is amazing. Like, a lot of people are coming up to me and sending me their footage and saying that this passing style has changed their jiu-jitsu game. This makes me very happy, but we need to understand why this style is so good. So usually in jiu-jitsu, we try to do everything perfectly technical without inflicting any pain to our partner. But I was asking myself, why? In MMA, you need to inflict pain with punches and whatever to make your jiu-jitsu better, because then your partner can't really think straight. He is in panic mode. And I think that we can do the same in jiu-jitsu. We did it with smother chokes, where the smother is not the greatest technique, but it makes your partner think and stress out, where you can go over to other techniques. And we can do it with everything. The dance from the rotolus is so good, not only because it chokes immediately, but because there's a lot of pain. And they explain it pretty well in their instructional, how they close the dance. I can recommend it to you guys. They close it almost on their wrist to inflict a lot of pain. So if they close the dance, there's not only great choking pressure, but also a lot of pain. And with the high body lock, it's the same. Maybe some people locked it high before, but the grips need to be meaningful. We need to understand how we can use this high grip. And if you do it in the solar plexus area, you can actually inflict that much pain that your partner can't even breathe right, or can't think about jiu-jitsu. And this is the perfect moment to start, where you can start to out-pummel them. And you can pass with the high body lock from your knees, from a semi-tripod, or from a full tripod. And all of them are pretty solid. You just need to understand what you need to do in these scenarios. And this is what I talk about in my instructional. But let's now, before we look actually at some examples, I want to tell a story how I came to the idea. So I rolled with a guy in Berlin, and he moved left to right where I was framing on him. And this is where I tore 4 of my ligaments in my thumb, or around my thumb. And I was a little bit upset and pissed. So then I just grabbed the high body lock when I passed him, and I pulled it really hard. And just by pulling it really hard, I was falling with my body weight on him. And this is where I understood how to actually apply pressure from this high body lock, and that this high body lock could be very cool. So even in a bad situation, you can make the best out of it. And then I started developing this system around it. So now let's look into actual examples. So let's start with Declan. He likes to use an S-grip method, and he grabs it a little bit higher. So you see he starts in a semi-tripod method and then goes to a higher tripod to pass from there. So let's look at this again. I believe he used this method the whole time from the over-under, and you can knee cut pretty much to the inside and to the outside. I will just repeat the sequences, and I want to talk about this in the meantime. If you lock the body lock like this, if you actually get it a bit higher than the solar plexus with the S grip, and you do it with the over-under, it's very hard to escape after the pass, and it's perfect if you can switch from the semi to the full tripod. If you can't switch to the full tripod because you didn't manage to have your head that high, I prefer to have a wrist-to-wrist method and outflank my partner more. So let's look at this. So you see me fighting for the hands, connecting a wrist to wrist, and I outflanked, or I shifted his hip a little bit to his left side, and this makes it easy to pass in the semi-tripod. So this is what I prefer to do. And in the next sequence, you will see me doing it probably, I think I go a bit higher here. Yeah, exactly. So you see, because I could get the S grip, I stayed in a semi-tripod, but I could oppose my will on the legs. So if you have a proper grip and it's very painful for your partner, it's relatively easy to outflank him to one side or go a bit higher. It's just preference if you like to do the semi-tripod or the high tripod. And let's look at Joseph's case. So the idea against Varela was to actually do it to pass to side control. And the high body lock is just a better method for it because Varela can't really move after that. So it's very wise of Joseph to use this method. And you see he's in a semi-tripod. That's also what I like to do against Varela. Probably because if you would go a little bit higher, it just sometimes harder to control the grip. And in a semi-tripod, you can control your partner better. So very cool of Joseph that he used this move. Made me very happy. And a lot of times he's just using it with a high tripod because high tripod is his thing, is his patented passing style. But in this case, he could do it in a semi-tripod, and against very explosive people, I would prefer to have locked hands. And if you go against people where you know that you can hold them down, the tripod is a good option. So both of them are really good, and I'm pretty happy that we can integrate one into the other. So I hope you liked this video. If you want to learn more about it, just look at the videos on my Instagram that are free or at my Patreon. I also have a free video on this on my YouTube account. So yeah, hope to see you soon. If you like these types of videos, leave a like and comment. Us.